Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Monday, the 4th day of May. This is CTV News. Tonight, a community gathers to demand information a year after the Sullivan siblings vanished. More room to ski. Popular resort looks to expand after buying some neighboring land. And Blake and the Blue Jays. A wish comes true for a New Brunswick teen.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. More than a year after they vanished, the missing Sullivan children remain very much on the minds of a great many people. A poignant vigil over the weekend proved the outpouring of emotion now is as fresh as it was the day they went missing. CTV's Hafsa Arif was at the event.
A year later, the space outside the Stellarton RCMP detachment is filled once again with toys placed on the grass and signs reminding everyone gathered here of the same promise. Jack and Lily will not be forgotten.
It's a hard day. It's a hard day of not having answers. I'm glad we had the turnout that we did.
Among the toys placed is a lighthouse, symbolizing the family's belief the children will still find their way home.
Frustrated, fed up. It's hard to believe it's been a year and we know as much as we knew May 2nd, 2025.
Family members hoped by now there would be answers instead of an anniversary gathering.
There's nothing else I can do. So at least talking about them, getting other people to talk about them. That's what I can do.
Roughly 30 people attended, listening to speeches and embracing loved ones.
It's not a normal thing for two little ones to disappear off the face of this earth.
For many, the grief has only deepened alongside growing frustration over the lack of answers.
We want the RCMP to start eliminating things that they've already eliminated because the public speculation has gone wild.
Others following the case agree misinformation has distracted from what matters most, finding the children.
I think the online community has been quite toxic in providing misinformation and leads that are wasting the major crimes time.
Still, people continue traveling from across the country to help keep attention on the case.
There's a very heavy sadness amongst this community. Everyone wants the kids found.
And while the vigil may have returned, families and friends here say so has the determination to keep searching.
We got to push for answers. We got to push for accountability.
As the crowd ended the vigil with a march through the streets, the children's toys remained outside the detachment, a reminder that 1 year later, Jack and Lily are still missing. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Stellarton.
Unrelated to the ongoing search for the children, an assault case against the stepfather of Jack and Lily Sullivan has been rescheduled. Daniel Martel was charged with assault, sexual assault, and unlawful confinement of an adult victim. He's due back in court, provincial court in Pictou, on July 7th to enter a plea on those charges. The search for a missing hiker in the Cape Breton Highland has now been suspended. Search teams have been looking for 62-year-old Denise Ann Williams from Australia since last Tuesday. RCMP say she was last heard from April 15th. Her rental car was located at the Parks Canada Visitor Centre near the entrance to the Acadian Trailhead in the Shedda Camp area. The search effort lasted right through the weekend before it was called off.
The decision to suspend the search followed 6 days of exhaustive air and ground efforts over extremely challenging terrain, during which no new information emerged to direct additional search activity.
That said, Mounties say the search could resume if they receive new information. In the meantime, they're asking anyone who may have encountered Williams in or around the Cape Breton Highlands to contact them. A driver taken to hospital after an accident in Nova Scotia's Annapolis Valley this morning. Happened just before 11 a.m. on Highway 358 near Canning. A dump truck left the road, smashed through a guardrail and down an embankment. The driver was able to get out and was taken to hospital. There's no word on the extent of the injuries. The investigation is ongoing. And some anxious moments near an elementary school in Nova Scotia's Kings County today. Berwick and district firefighters, EHS ground crew, and even a life flight helicopter joined the RCMP in responding to this two-vehicle crash involving a bus. This happened in Somerset around 2 p.m. We're told the road was closed in both directions from Highway 360 to the east and Pleasant Valley Road to the west. It's unclear exactly what happened in that incident.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
A Halifax councillor is now pushing back against complaints from the Construction Association of Nova Scotia that arbitrary decisions and growing bureaucracy is making it more difficult to build in the city. CTV's Callum Smith has more.
Cranes fill the sky, but the Construction Association is demanding to be a part of construction-related decisions.
It just seems like in the last year there's a pattern of not wishing to engage and have a meaningful conversation about what the scope and nature of the problem is before going to a motion or a staff report.
Those problems can vary. Most recently, it was a 14-to-1 motion seeking a staff report about keeping pedestrian and active transportation options open around construction sites. Industry agrees that's important, but wants to understand if that's a broader issue or project specific. Councillor Janet Steele chairs a committee responsible for planning and economic development and contends there are formal options to speak up.
Whether it's presenting to a committee, whether it's coming and participating in public participation.
She says it's important to maintain a positive city for investment and growth, but the association says some companies are opting out, calling for a reset with City Council to cut back on motions and staff reports.
I'm hearing from developers that they're just not interested. It's becoming too difficult, too challenging, too unpredictable, mainly, is the language I'm hearing, to do business in Halifax, and that's really unfortunate.
I think that's unfortunate because we are growing and prosperous city. So I think we're continuing to see investments in HRM, and it continues to be a city that is that's a positive place to do business.
Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
Bit late for this season, but one of New Brunswick's ski hills is gearing up for an expansion. Poley Mountain, just outside Sussex, has announced it has acquired 110 acres to grow the resort. CTV's Avery McRae has more.
The 110-acre land parcel that is now owned by Poley is directly to the west of the mountain. As for what this new area will see, ideas being explored at this time include ski-in and ski-out condos, private building lots, and even possible hotels and spas to make the resort a year-round destination. This is also an endeavor Poley won't take on alone. The Hill will be working with Whistler-based EcoSign, who on their website describe themselves as having a reputation of being one of the most innovative and experienced mountain resort planning companies in the world. In a press release, Poley General Manager Jamie Hare calls the land acquisition a tremendous opportunity for Poley. Currently, the Hill boasts 32 trails for skiers and snowboarders to enjoy in the winter time, while in the summer, the site transforms to offer over 16 kilometers of downhill biking trails. CTV reached out to both Poley and EcoSign to learn more about the partnership and plans for the land, but neither were available for an interview by airtime. Sussex Mayor Mark Thorne told CTV in an email he is thrilled to learn about the expansion. He says the Hill draws many visitors to the municipality year-round, and adds the expansion shows officials are confident in the future of Poley. Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Avery. No matter which is chosen, Nova Scotia and its capital city are positioning themselves for a major economic win when Ottawa decides who is going to build the next generation of submarines for the Royal Canadian Navy. Germany and South Korea are in the running for the contract to build the 12 new subs. The province says no matter who wins, Nova Scotia and Halifax will benefit. In fact, the Minister of Growth and Development says a new submarine maintenance facility will need to be constructed, and there will be a big contract for maintaining the boats once they're built and arrive.
My understanding is that the construction of the submarines themselves will be in the host country, so either in Germany or in South Korea. But the maintenance, which is a significant part of the project itself, of the project budget itself, will be in Canada, both on the west coast and on the east coast.
LeBlanc and Premier Tim Houston have both met with both companies, I should say, that are vying for the job. LeBlanc believes a final decision could be announced within a month or so. And a poignant anniversary today for Maritimers of Dutch descent being marked at Pier 21.
Folks, 81 years ago, the guns went silent in Europe, and people like my parents and many, many others felt freedom for the first time in many, many years.
Short ceremony outside Pier 21 marking the 81st anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands. It was former NDP MP Peter Stauffer there. He's organized this event for years. He was born in that country. The Dutch have never forgotten the thousands of Canadians who gave their lives to help liberate that country from the Nazis in the Second World War. Some 7,600 Canadians died in that effort. Still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll explore the growing issue of loneliness in this super connected world. Coming up next, though, remembering a nightmare.
In an instant, all of our lives could change.
It's been a decade since one of the worst wildfires in Canadian history, and experts say it could happen again if we're not careful. Details are next.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Join us tomorrow at 7 for the brand new $1,000 Minute Jackpot Edition.
Keep your winnings or throw them into the jackpot for your chance to win thousands.
You know, a good part of this country, including our region, have suffered through wildfires in recent years, big ones. One of the biggest ever was in the West exactly 10 years ago. You may remember it sparked the largest evacuation in Canadian history. CTV's Ryan McDonald spoke with one Cape Bretoner who was in the middle of it.
It's been 10 years since the wildfires that devastated Fort McMurray, a town that plenty of Maritimers called home then and still do now.
It was literal hell on earth. I was there with my brother Cody.
Rick Chizenko still remembers the towering flames in the side of the highway as he drove out of town and the devastation he saw when he returned.
When you went back, there's like neighborhoods that were flattened. Like it looked like a war zone in a lot of places because places were burnt right to the ground.
I think the last count was 56.
That's roughly how many grass fires the North Sydney Volunteer Fire Department has responded to already this spring, even after last year's historically dry summer and the wildfire concerns that came with it. Still, Chief Lloyd McIntosh says when burn bans are in place, most people follow the rules, including the one that prohibits open-air fires in urban areas of Cape Breton Regional Municipality.
Those are the bylaws as written, and we have to ask people to not burn. And once we inform people of the bylaw that you're not allowed to burn in the former towns and cities, people are very accommodating.
People have to use the brains that are in our heads and really think about what we do, because in an instant, all of our lives could change.
Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Thank you, Ryan. Time for a quick little break here, but when we return, it's your complete maritime weather forecast. The evening has cooled off a little bit, but it was a pretty nice day around here. Kaylin has all the details coming up next. Okay, it's Monday evening. The Star Wars jokes are all kind of riding off into the sunset now. You weren't kidding about that rain yesterday.
Oh, that was wild, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, that was like almost like a springtime nor'easter a little bit, and just how strong that weather system got as it approached the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. Of course, brought a lot of rain to a good portion of the region, but Bruce finished with some snow for a few areas. The rain flipping over to some wet snow in the southwest of Nova Scotia. There was initially some accumulation up to around a few to several centimeters. millimeters. Of course, that melted away today with the sunshine making appearance. Just a few clouds around for the rest of tonight, but there's already another weather system keeping track of towards the west of us. This one has a cold front with it. That cold front's going to be passing through Ontario and into Quebec for tomorrow. As it moves into the St. Lawrence River Valley, it may bring in some late-day showers to parts of the north and west of New Brunswick, and with those showers, actually a low risk. There could be a couple of thunderstorms. Taking a look at our timeline for the rest of tonight, though, and heading into the start of the day for tomorrow, should be a fairly bright start to Tuesday. Moving into Tuesday afternoon, it remains very sunny for Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island and southern areas of New Brunswick. But there, up around the north of New Brunswick, you can see the increasing cloudiness and some of these little areas of green starting to show up. And that's a chance of some showers, again, running over the St. Lawrence River Valley and towards the north and west with New Brunswick. And it's with that broken line of showers that will continue to move in that there will be a low risk of a few thunderstorms. So that's mostly going to be for parts of the north and west of New Brunswick for tomorrow, beginning late afternoon, but extending into the evening. Remember your thunderstorm safety when thunder roars. Head indoors. You want to wait at least 30 minutes after the last rumble of thunder before heading back out, and that's because lightning can strike out from any direction from a thunderstorm, and lightning is often the most dangerous hazard that we have with them. As we take a look at winds in the forecast for tomorrow, they are going to be noticeable around the Maritimes. First of all, they're going to be out of the southwest, but they're going to be on the gusty side in the afternoon with some gusts in the region between 30 and 60 kilometers per hour. The highest of those gusts, mostly at higher terrain and parts of the coast. Still, you will notice some blustery conditions Tuesday afternoon around the Maritimes. Now, low temperatures tonight around the region will be mostly around the low to mid single digits, a little bit cooler than that up around the north and northwest of New Brunswick. Highs in the forecast for tomorrow, though, for a good portion of the region, high teens and low 20s. So it is going to be a warmer early May day for the region. You can see 21 to 24 degrees there for many of the communities in the north of New Brunswick. 22 for Fredericton for tomorrow. Now, temperatures cooler around the Bay of Fundy coastline, and that's because that blustery southwest wind, it's onshore off of those Bay of Fundy waters that are sitting around 3 degrees. So that'll hold those coastal temperatures around 12 to 15. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow, just off the coastline, a lot of high temperatures, around 20, 21 degrees directly on the coastline, 16 to 18 degrees. In Cape Breton for tomorrow, a lot of high temperatures, high teens, low 20s, except on the Atlantic coastline, or again, they'll be in the range of 12 to 16 degrees. Low 20s for the north shore of mainland Nova Scotia for tomorrow, but on the eastern shore of the coastline, 12 to 16 degrees. It'll be near 20 around Enfield, but the city centers Halifax and Dartmouth tomorrow, close to 18. Cooler near 12 for Chester and Lunenburg, but up to around 20 for Bridgewater. 13 for Yarmouth, then the Annapolis Valley for tomorrow, warmer with some high temperatures near 23. In the 7-day outlook for New Brunswick, some further scattered showers on Wednesday. Showers and some rain a little bit more widespread Wednesday night, but clearing out Thursday morning. There'll be a chance of showers after that on Friday, mix of sun and cloud on Saturday, a chance of showers at the end of the weekend, and then rain possible on Monday of next week. For Nova Scotia in the outlook on Wednesday, it's another warm day off the Atlantic coastline, that is, and then we have some rain and some showers moving in Wednesday night into Thursday. A few showers in the forecast for Friday. Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud. Chance of showers at the end of the weekend. Rain possible on Monday. And for Prince Edward Island, beautiful next couple of days. There is a low chance of some showers on Wednesday, and then some showers expected on Thursday. Another chance of showers at the end of the week on Friday. A mix of sun and cloud to start the weekend. And then a chance of showers on Sunday. Rain possible on Monday of next week. Bruce.
Been a long road to get here, but I'm glad we're finally getting there. All right, thank you. We'll step aside for just a couple of minutes. Stay with us. Be right back.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Come Together Canada is the theme of this year's Mental Health Week, focused on loneliness. It's kind of a strange irony. Thanks to the internet, we are more connected than ever, yet many of us have never felt more alone. CTV's Vanessa Wright has the story.
You may not be able to see it or hear it, but it's a feeling millions of Canadians carry around every day.
Loneliness is more than a feeling. We know that it is a mental health and public health issue.
According to the Canadian Mental Health Association, 5 million people in Canada feel lonely often or always, including 1 in 5 youth aged 16 to 24. The data also shows 1 in 4 people who connect online are frequently lonely.
It can be really depressing because it's so hard to talk to people nowadays and meet new people.
I remember being quite lonely when I first had a baby, and I was home alone with the baby, and people leave you alone to sort of settle in with your new baby, but it's kind of a lonely experience.
The theme of this year's Mental Health Week is Come Together Canada, a campaign that encourages people to step outside of their shell in a big or small way.
It can be a conversation, a face-to-face conversation with eye contact with people. It can be a check-in, maybe even a shared meal or joining a group, reaching out for support or helping someone feel less alone.
She also recommends finding community spaces to connect. The Halifax Story Slam is one event that uses storytelling to reach those struggling with mental health.
What we have is 6 storytellers that are going to tell their lives' true story. We always say as remembered in front of the audience. There are no notes or scripts or prompts. I always hope that everyone comes away with hearing a little piece of that story that resonates with them, that makes them think that, oh, someone has just voiced my story.
An effort to get more Canadians connecting face to face. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Vanessa. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, a wish comes true for a New Brunswick teenager. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at an iconic train station in Macadam, New Brunswick. Currently 6 degrees right now. Caitlin's Wake Up coming up next. First few minutes of Tuesday morning, and we'll kick it off with a look at the wake-up weather. And Caitlin.
Yeah, pretty fair weather Tuesday ahead for the Maritimes. First thing in the morning, sunny conditions, morning temperatures, mid to high single digits, but it turns warmer tomorrow for most of the region. A lot of high temperatures, high teens, low 20s. Cooler spots will include parts of the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia and the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick, where high temperatures will be held mostly in the range of 12 to 16 degrees. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm late in the day in the northwest of New Brunswick. Bruce.
Thank you, Caitlin. Well, a boy from Moncton had the dream of a lifetime fulfilled at a baseball game in Toronto recently. As CTV's Derek Haggett tells us tonight, his trip to the mound hasn't necessarily been an easy one.
Blake Savage says he wasn't too nervous when he threw out the first pitch at a Blue Jays game last week.
George Springer catching the pitch. Job, Blake.
Not a lot of people get to do that. It was pretty fun.
The 13-year-old from Moncton and his parents were the guests of Make-A-Wish Canada for a game between Toronto and Boston. The ceremonial first pitch, something he's always wanted to do.
It kind of just went by so fast that, I remember throwing the first pitch, taking a picture, but it went so fast.
It was so emotional. It was so, I was happy to see him just smile and just having the best day of his life.
Blake lives with a rare heart condition. He collapsed twice on the school playground years ago, and in 2024 suffered a cardiac arrest while playing hockey. While receiving treatment at the IWK in Halifax, Blake was diagnosed with CPVT, a genetic condition that causes abnormal heart rhythms.
He has it for life. The medication he's on 2 different types of medication, and it's got it. There's no sign of it now.
I can't play hockey anymore, but I can't do too much physical activity.
But he can still play baseball, his true passion. And he got to meet 2 of his heroes, including George Springer, who caught his pitch.
He didn't know even what players he was meeting until he got on the field. He, of course, threw out a few names.
And Blake also threw out a near-perfect pitch. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
And he will remember every moment of that. Okay, that's the broadcast for this Monday night. If you joined us a little late or you'd like to take another look at anything that you've seen tonight, CTVNewsAtlantic.ca is always your home for news. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us this evening. Have a good night, and we hope to see you again tomorrow.